Are continuing to see more and more stories like this as gun violence skyrockets here in Texas and really across the country.
Yeah, that's right. Despite our state having the second fewest gun restrictions in the U.S., well, shooting deaths continue to rise. Our Jamil Donath explains how researchers are looking into a connection between the two.
Every month, Joyce Martinez and her family meet in this parking lot.
Papa's proud of us. He's proud of us.
To remember her son, Chris Martinez, who was gunned down on March 21st, 2021. Tonight's memorial was the 6-month anniversary of his death. Martinez is one of more than 1,000 lives lost to gun violence this year in Texas.
It hurts me a lot every single day. We need justice. He was a loving father. He was a good, hardworking man. He took care of all his family, all of us.
State data shows firearm homicides trending up since before 2015. As of October, shooting deaths account for about 75% of all homicides in 2021.
This right here is a full size.
Meanwhile, more than a dozen new laws are making it easier to have a gun.
I don't like looking at them as far as loosening gun laws. I like looking at them as people are getting their freedoms back.
Central Texas Gunworks owner Michael Cargill says these laws will make the state safer. The list includes permitless open carry, license to carry for minors with court protections, and allowing gun storage in hotel rooms. He's already seen a decline in people signing up for classes, but he predicts they'll be back, by choice or not.
If you don't come to me beforehand and learn what the laws are, you'll come to me afterwards and it'll be court ordered.
These series of gun laws seem to be aimed at something different.
Howard Henderson is a criminologist professor.
On these facts.
As the Center for Justice Research Director at Texas Southern University, he's studying how gun laws impact behavior.
What we found through our initial analysis is that, open carry laws seem to increase violent behavior in general.
Henderson says if his research comes to the same conclusion, that will further increase the risk for Black and brown communities already disproportionately impacted by gun violence.
Time will tell us more definitively whether or not these open carry laws are further decimating a rising violent crime rate as we see in most cities around the country.
There's more and more every day. Every day we have gun violence. Somebody's getting killed.
Like Martinez's family, who are still fighting to bring her son's killer to justice.
And our Jamil Donath joins us now with more on gun violence here in Texas. Jamil, what does gun violence look like in our state?
In Texas, we are definitely seeing an upward trend of gun violence. I've been looking through the Department of Public Safety data for a long time now, and it goes back before even 2015. We've started to see a dramatic increase, with 2020 and 2021 being the most ever in the last 10 to 15 years. The 90s, we might still have had some more numbers, but when we really break that down as far as homicides, because obviously we look a lot at, recently at how homicides have been increasing, and gun violence in the package, as I said, makes up more than 76% of all homicides in Texas. In Austin, it looks around 81%. Now that number is a little skewed because the TPD numbers are a little bit lower than what Austin Police is reporting so far. We already have 67 homicides in Austin, whereas Texas numbers were reporting 52. So they're a little skewed. But, and again, what we see there is a disproportionate impact on Black and brown communities. So we saw a majority of homicide victims were Black and Hispanic in Texas, pretty much since before 2015, but even more so today as well.
And of course, this is Texas. The hot topic is gun laws. In your research, have you found any correlation between the laws and actual gun violence?
Yeah, so when we look at the research, there is so much out there. There's so many different studies that look at gun violence versus gun laws, but there's really not a ton that has really been devoted to it. But from some of the best national research I've looked at from the RAND Corporation, which does research and analysis for policy change, they found that, first of all, Texas has the second lowest gun restrictions in the entire country, according to that national study. And then their 2020 RAND report found that there are 3 major gun laws that impact gun violence, and that's concealed carry or carry laws, child access to guns, like how they're being stored, and then also looking at stand your ground laws are the biggest ones that impact that. And then, of course, we do see another disproportionate rate of Black and brown people being affected by gun laws as well.
Yeah, certainly a loaded issue, one that is continuing to evolve as well, too, and one that we're going to continue to follow. Jamil, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for your update this morning.